Hey guys, Juju22 here, and it's time to play ball. It is Blue Toad Baseball with the Season 3 World Series, and this is Game 1 of a best of 3. And I want to say hello to those who are coming in, and for those who are watching this on the replay when that comes out. And with that said, let me check and see who's in. Okay. But as people come in, I'm going to let those who are in this game know. So let me do that. Okay. Also, I'm going to share this with my Discord server, so give me a second. But I hope everyone's having a good time. Hope all is well. And I know that for some this might be late, or for others they might be away, but it is what it is. But on the other hand, I will be busy on Sunday night, as it turns out, so it kind of made sense to do this now and do the Super Show that I'm going to be doing tomorrow as well. So may as well take out, nip this in the bud. And plus, I've been meaning to do this for a while, so it is what it is. All right. Let me also say hello to. No, that's not Philadelphia. That's Milwaukee, actually. But even still, two large teams, 2 games to win. Only one can reign supreme. Also, hey, what's up, Brian? Happy Meal Hernsberger. And also, I want to say hello to Joshua. I haven't seen much of him, although I have to imagine he's been busy or he has had other matters to take care of. But I hope everything's going well, Joshua. And then for Brian, it's great to have you. I hope by next season, season 4, we'll get you into the fold. I just have to make decisions on, who's going to be leaving and then who's going to stay and things like that, and go from there. No worries, Joshua. I mean, we all make mistakes. I make mistakes too, so it's nothing new for me. But in the meantime, this is a good opportunity to, go get snacks and stuff like that. And in the meantime, excuse me, maybe got a little bit of gas here. Okay, there we go. All right. So of course I'm on the Astros, so I just need to get Brandon and the man behind Elock. So I'm gonna do that right now. But I hope everything's going well for everyone else. Okay. And then let me also get Mr. Coltrane. Okay. And then also let me check the chat really quick. But yeah, I hope you guys are doing well. And hey, what's up, Brandon? Just getting everybody else that is in this. All right, so now let me get Kelly, Patty, and Jamar. Well, I will say that this past week has been very tough. Just for the sheer volume of work that I've had to do, um, but I hope everyone is otherwise having a nicer day. But it has been a nice day for me, in spite of that. There we go. Oh, you did? Okay. Did they implement the changes that they did IRL, such as a pitch clock and some of the other changes that, including universal DH? And if they did, are you able to revert it? Are you able to switch between universal DH or turning it off or turning it on for one of the leagues like you could in older games? What about Wasson? Well, I'm gonna get Wasson for season 3, man. So I'm gonna get him, but we're just trying to finish out the existing season currently. All right, let me get patty cakes here. Okay. All right. Let me see here. I think that that option is always on the show when you go into season mode, as far as I know. I haven't really tested out the options yet. Okay, not a problem. I just know that whenever they make rule changes, you really have to read into the rules or the changes of rules, whether they've added rules or they've taken away rules or they've rescinded rules, things like that. Okay. Okay. I was just catching up on my messages there. All right, I'm just gonna get Jamar. There we go. There we go. Okay. All right, let me see who we have in the chat. Hey, what's up, Jose Blanco? Great to see you, man. Ah, gosh. Of course, I got some crickets in my neck just because of, you know, having to stare at a screen for too long. Not my television screen, but the monitors on my desk at work. But enough about me. Let's get into this. So let's do this right now. All right, so game one will be between Milwaukee and Houston, in part because Houston has the higher seed. They have home field for the World Series, so that's what they have. And hey, what's up, Patty Cakes? Patty Chase, what's up? Just in time. Yes. All right. Let's get right into it. So it's going to be Corbin Burns and Lance McCullers. So, of course, you have Patty Chase and Kelly Baker. And, of course, being that this is this was back when only the American League had the DH rule, Jamar is installed as the designated hitter. So that means that the pitcher will not be hitting today.
From Southeast Texas, we welcome you inside Minute Maid Park here in downtown Houston. It's game 1 of the World Series.
Hey, you know what? Out of all the Yankees, I think Derek Jeter is the consummate professional. There aren't too many people that have bad words about him other than maybe just a couple of jerks out there, but anyone who is anybody that has any amount of respect for the game, I can tell you for certain that that man, Derek Jeter, is an absolute legend in everything. And of course, both these teams they come into the World Series each with 4 wins and a loss. Also, hey, what's up, Triple Beat? Great to see you, man. I will say this though, as far as your guy and your girl. Oh shoot, overcoding overload. I've been having a lot of problems with that. I'm not sure what the hell happened there, or what the deal is with it. But anyway, as far as Mr. Triple Beat is concerned, I mean, Jen's going to be on the card defending the United States Championship. And of course, Kelly's going to be in the men's pre-show Royal Rumble. But other than that, though, I hope everything's going well with you, Mr. Triple Beat, and I hope that the creation of your shows are going well. Oh man, I will say that I'm not having as much fun setting up 23 as I might have had with 22. Honestly. Well, that's good. That's good. I'm happy that that's the case. I'm happy that you're doing well and that things are going smoothly. And but it's gotten to the point where I'm like, this might be the first time that I've ever gone without using a universe mode, because I've used universe mode quite a bit, but given the fact that the AI tendencies for each of the calls doesn't register unless you start all over again, and I'm like, do I really want to start all over again? Oh. So, in other words, I might not be able to use universe mode outside of maybe even using it to determine rankings and stuff like that. But other than that, I might have to do it the way that I've always done Fire Pro. And that's, exclusively use it outside of universe mode. So that's kind of where I'm at. So what is great about MLB The Show 23? Because, of course, I don't have that game yet. Yeah, but the thing that really drove me mad, more or less, was the fact that is that every time you change the tendencies for your calls, you have to start over again, unless they make a fix-up, or unless I'm mistaken. I'm like, do I really want to start all over again for each time that I have to adjust tendencies? Even if it's just by one stinking point? Are you kidding me? So that's kind of where I'm at with that one. because like I said, unless I'm mistaken, please correct me if I am wrong. But I'm like, I can see why Kelly didn't want to use universe mode for her show, and I don't blame her. Really, I don't. The Negro Leagues, yeah. You just have to select the universe from what I saw. Sure, I could probably take something with a grain of salt. And as that happens, I may as well catch up on the game a little bit. Is that we have a runner on second, and just barely, and that was called fair, and that resulted in a ground rule double. You just have to select the universe from what I saw when you save your changes. Again, you'll have to. I might have to really look up into that. But yeah, I just, like, when I heard about that for the first time, or when Blaze mentioned it, I was like, I don't want to say I was discouraged, but I was just disheartened, really. Right now, Jamar Games is at the plate. 1-1 is the count. Swing and a miss. Now it's 1-2. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Oh, the main game. Okay. That makes a huge difference, because I thought it was the AI tendency sliders, but no, it was the main game. Thank you for correcting me on that, because yeah, that's a huge thing. That's huge. If anything, I think you might have what's the word? You might have reinvigorated me. And as that happens, Jamar finally gets a hit. In fact, he gets a double, an RBI double. So Jamar finally gets a hit, but he also drives in his first run in this entire postseason. And just like that, Jamar gives the Milwaukee Brewers a 1-0 lead. Yep, you got a hit and you got an RBI for that. A run batted in, that's what an RBI stands for. But yeah, Triple B, thank you so much for clarifying that it's the main game sliders, not the tendency sliders, because if that was the case, and that was he swung at it, but it jammed him up, and that's going to do it for the half inning. And at the end of one half inning, it is 1-0 Milwaukee, thanks to Jamar Games getting in Christian Yelich, who had gotten a ground rule double to get in. So I'm going to give... And you know what? I've been meaning to do this. And I'm doing this just because I trust you. And plus, it's my channel anyway, so it's like, it's something that you earn. And you earn from me, and that's this. Okay. Thank you, TJ. So now you're part of the mod squad. And as that happens, we have Jose Altuve at the plate. And on the mound is Corbin Burns. Well, I'll tell you what, man. Welcome aboard, brother. From another mother.
Set to deliver on 0-2. Here it comes.
Anyway, 3 pitches and down he goes. That's the kind of inning that's the kind of thing you want as a pitcher. 3 pitches, 3 swings, 3 misses, 3 strikes, you're out. And Corbin Burns is going to have the best game that he can have. Given that, this Houston team is not exactly a pushover. In fact, having only lost a game in this entire postseason says a lot about them. In fact, the Astros lost game 1 in the divisional series, but they ended up winning the next 2 to win the series and move on. Swings it, but hits it foul. There's Patty Chase, number 22. But I will say that, well, like I said, Triple B, you actually you saved me a lot of trouble, actually, Triple B, having said that. I still got a little bit of work to do now that I had to start again, this time with the changes.
And a good take there. Close, but it's 2-2. Sinker, 3-2 now.
Well, you don't see it all that often, but this might be a good time for a 3-2 change. If he can locate it, it's nearly impossible to hit.
Payoff pitch home. And he missed with that one.
And after a strikeout, he gives out a walk.
Man, that's just painful for
I totally understand I got to do the same, law. Yeah.
right on the corner, but he couldn't get him to chase it. He doesn't get the call. Can't beat yourself up about that one too much.
I mean, even if I have to start out outside of universe mode before, putting it into universe mode, then I'll do that too. Just because so that I'm not wasting too much time on that. But even still.
And he takes ball 2, and it's 2-1. Lifetime in this matchup. Not a big sample size, 0 for 1.
I will say that Kelly and Jen look good as far as their 2023 or 2K23 selves. They look great. Anyway, 2-2 is the count. 1 out. And that also reminds me.
And a swing and a miss as they got him with the slider there, 2 away.
Anyway, so here are the paths that each of these teams took to get here. And
To get where they are tonight.
it's just amazing how it started with 10 teams, but now it's down to 2.
From the stretch, as the first pitch to him is off the plate for a ball, 1-0. Runner on first with 2 away.
I love their second attires. Okay. I might have to check them out again. But I'm also fixing the AI tendencies for each of the other calls, especially those from Captain Danger. Not that I had anything, not that there was anything wrong with his call, but other than just the AI tendencies were all at 100, so that had something to do with that. Anyway, the count is still 2-2, but now they're driving up the pitch count. Fouls it away.
2 out with the man at first.
When he is healthy. What do you mean by he?
You can really tell they're trying to keep the ball in on this big slugger right here.
Is that an effort to keep him from getting extended, do you think?
Yeah, I think that's the idea, Matt. But he might spin the win if he starts looking for it in there.
2-2 one more time.
Hey, having AB right here, I know it's frustrating the heck out of the pitcher. You keep fouling these pitches off, maybe one misses over the heart of the plate.
And we wait back on the changeup, and he did a good job just to make contact. Still 2-2.
Fouls that one away.
Already 24 pitches to this point in the inning.
And wait, when that happens, just go into roster from the main game and reset their attributes to default, which I could.
And that's the third out. So it's no runs on no hits, no errors.
Should fix the all 100 issue. Oh shit. Anyway, at the end of one, it is still 1-0 Brewers.
Second inning set to go, and that'll give way to the third baseman, Willie Adames. Here's the first pitch. A little over anxious that time as it's a ball and a strike. Here it comes on 1-1. Fooled him with that one as he's way out in front. Swung on and missed. Really fooled him that time for the first out.
Really good late bite on that slider right there. Best ones have that
Sorry, I'm just looking up something here.
starts at the last minute. They're so tough to get the bat on, and when you've got that good slider going, it's a great strikeout pitch.
So now to the plate, Patsy Chase. As he'll take a look at a sinker here, too low for ball one. The 1-0. Chase is really a rare talent in this sport, a true five-tool player, as they say, which means he can make an impact in a game at any time. Really a joy to watch, not someone you want to take your eye off of.
And, oh, nice hit there by Patty. Sorry, I'm just looking up something here on my end. I'm not sure why it happened like that. But it results in a double with an out. Okay, that's so weird. I'm just looking at something on my end, so I apologize.
He's been on fire since the postseason started, and after that hit, it looks like he doesn't plan on stopping anytime soon.
And in to hit next is Lorenzo Cain. And this one's in the dirt. And he's going to make it into third base now, as I believe that'll be scored as a wild pitch. Started to swing there, but did he hold up in time? He did not, says Ed Drummond at first, and that's strike one. Fly ball out toward left center.
Oh, nice hit there, and I'm going to try to catch it, and I do. And that might just result in a sacrifice fly, and that puts another run on the board.
The run is in to score from third. It's a 2-0 ball game.
Okay.
So the bases are empty with two gone now. And that'll bring up Avisail Garcia. And she'll take a tough pitch on the outside part of the plate for strike one.
Time to be aggressive with these hitters now. After that sac fly, now it's time to try to get out of this inning with only one run scored.
Okay.
0-1, here's the pitch. Hard hit to first.
And, oh, well, an out at first. And that's the end of the inning, but they get another run.
One hit, no
Okay.
errors, and no one left on base.
There we go.
On now to the bottom of the second. It's the Brewers
Okay.
and the Astros nothing. So next to swing the bat will be Carlos
There we go.
Correa.
All right. Let me get back to what I'm doing. Let me see this. I've been noticing that when people are maxed out on AI attributes, they end up jobbing because it confuses the AI. There's Lorenzo Cain, the guy who shut down the Braves. I got a double, then I stole third, then I scored. Woohoo! Yes. Definitely did a great job, though. Okay, now, I was actually ordering something on I was making an order online, so I just wanted to make sure I got it before I forgot, because I have tended to forget sometimes But now that the deed is done, so I can finish up now. And that's all anybody could ever ask for, really. Right now, it is 2-0 Milwaukee, and this is something that Milwaukee didn't have the luxury of in the previous series with the Atlanta Braves, in that the Braves would take a big lead, and in the first game, Milwaukee got close, but they couldn't get close enough. In Game 2, Milwaukee completed the greatest comeback in all of Blue Toad baseball. And it all ended with the man they call Kane. That's got to be Kane. That's got to be Kane. And then they managed to do the same thing in Game 3. They take the lead and they never look back. And that's how they got here. So for the fact that Milwaukee's in the lead is somewhat refreshing, I would have to think, for them. And at the plate is your boy, Toad, number 36. So let's see how I do against Corbin Burns. All right, so I'm at 2-1. Also, I may as well ask Mr. Triple Beat something else, if I may. Okay.
Here now the 2-2. Swung on and missed. He got him on strikes.
On the mound, he's thinking, grab some.
And then, oh, there's, hey, what's up, Kelly? I wonder if Kelly Mavericks or Triple Beat, the man himself, is interested in baseball. That's the question. Because, I mean, I don't know if Triple Beat is interested in baseball, but I could totally see Kelly playing it, especially when a West Coast team is involved, like Oakland or San Francisco or one of the two LA teams and San Diego. But it's really up to Triple Beat, the man himself. Anyway, we have 2 outs. Another thing I was so pleasantly surprised coming into the NBA season for 2022-2023 was coming into this season, the Sacramento Kings have been, for the most part, the laughingstock of the league. In part, either, especially when it came to the front office putting on a pretty shitty product on the court. Sure, we've had some good players, but not enough to really put us over the top. And then it all turned around. Anyway, if the Anaheim Angels were to sign Kelly, he'd gladly do it. I thought I could probably see that happening. And I might, try something new for season 4. And I'll briefly mention it. You've heard of anybody who has ever played, what's it called again? Fortnite, that's it. Knows about the Battle Royal. And that you take out your opponents, and of course as you do that, you level up. Well, we're going to try to do something like that. I'll go into much more detail about it. Upon the conclusion of this season. But anyway, great play there there you see Crushing Kelly with a much shorter hairstyle. Or actually, for the fact that her hair is actually underneath the hat and has to put it up in a bun. And she makes a big throw to Patty Chase as, from Kelly to Patty, I mean, they do a great job with the infield. Anyway. For basketball, Zach Adams would play for the Lakers. Yeah, a lot of people in Sacramento, even to this day, still believe that and actually, as time has gone on, more and more people have stopped, blaming the Lakers and started blaming the officials. Especially with Tim Donaghy after, he had said that his crew was among that that more or less screwed the Kings. So it was more the officials that the people started to place the blame on as opposed to the Lakers themselves. But what I mean by Fortnite is it's a battle royal. You know, you start with X amount of teams, and then you cut it down to the eventual one team that wins it all. So something like that. It's been a minute, but yes. Anyway, up next is Kelly, who is 0 for 1 so far. So there you see Kelly. Of course, this was, and of course, Kelly looks a lot more different in this game than she does in many other games. But don't let her size fool you. I mean, she did hit a 3-run home run. You know, especially in Game 2 of the previous series that they were in. Triple B, I'm a Hawks fan. And we'll be... I did not realize that. That's right, the Hawks did win their way into the playoffs upon getting into the play-in, if that's correct. Correct me if I'm wrong, Jamar, but didn't you guys win the play-in to get in? And a hit that goes down the line, and I get to it, and of course my cannon for an arm makes it so that Kelly doesn't go for a double, so she gets a base hit single. You know, and as far as fandom is concerned, I have a good friend in Ryan, who's actually more of our good friend AJ and Elmeister's friend. Ryan, he's a big fan of the Raptors, given the fact that he does live in Canada, so it only made sense that he... Oh, by Hawks he means the Atlanta Hawks, not the Seattle Seahawks of the NFL. I can at least say that for certain. Christian Yelich already 1 for 1, especially with that ground rule double that he hit. Yeah, definitely. Yep, the Atlanta Hawks. So, and speaking of Jamar, he's on deck right now. So, well, Jamar, get ready, my friend. You're going to be up next. Definitely. Well, a walk for Yelich, and as that happens, Lance McCullers is up to 48 pitches, especially now that we're in the top of the third. And that's another thing about this game is that whichever starting pitcher can get deep into the game without giving up as many runs, 9 times out of 10 is the one that wins. Or at the very least gives their team a chance to win. So Jamar already has a hit, a double, an RBI double. But now he has 2. Whoa, nice cut there by McCullers. But now he has 2 runners on base, one at first and the other at second. So a well-placed hit might drive in another one. And he hits it, but he hits it right to third base. They get one, and they get the other. Unfortunately, he does hit it, but he hits it into a double play, and that ends the inning. And if for nothing else, McCullers is wholly thankful for that. At the end of 2.5, it is still 2-0 Milwaukee. And now making his first at-bat is Brandon Cuevas. Let me also check here. Interesting. Let me turn down my TV a little bit.
offense better get it going right here because they certainly can tell from their dugout this guy is carrying himself with a presence out on the mound. He's got
Right now, Brandon now at 2-1, 2 balls, 1 strike.
Laid off for a ball. Now a swing and a softly hit ground ball. Ball 3 as the sinker misses just off the black that time.
It's been a great job so far by the 8-hole hitter. If he finds a way to get on base.
You can do it!
Payoff pitch home.
And a hit right down the line.
There's the first hit of the game for Houston.
And Brandon gets his first hit.
Guys can handle the postseason lights, and this is obvious.
And his first at bat in his debut in the World Series.
This guy's had a monster postseason so far.
And number 9 is Cole Weston. And look at the size of this big man.
Strike one.
Of course, this is the same man who is based off of Elock. Or rather, his creation is Elock. Like, basically, think of what would happen if Big Daddy Cool had a big son.
So it's knotted up at 1-1.
Now, obviously, I want to send my condolences to, the real Kevin Nash's son.
From the belt.
But yeah, just think Elock,
In there, 1-2 now.
a lot like, prime Kevin Nash, like when he was Diesel and when he first got to WCW. And then picture him as a monster, more as opposed to
Runner at first with no outs here.
a really charismatic guy in a big body or something like that.
Throw over. Dive, but he's back.
But then again, that's why he was Big Daddy Cool. But even still,
Swing and a
ooh, nice hit there by Cole Weston, but they get the play at. He hits it at third. They get the play at second, and they get a double play as they get the out at first. So not a bad hit. Backhands it, gets it to second, and then at first with Patty. So great double play there, guys, and Patty.
So up to the plate next will be
Now back up to the top of the order with Jose Altuve.
low. It's ball 1.
Burns is now at 55 pitches at the bottom of the third.
Bases are empty here with 2.
I'd have to think he's very thankful for that double play. But I mean, going back to the Sacramento Kings, I mean, coming into this,
He did not.
I truly,
First, and that's strike 1.
going into this, I thought that maybe at best they would make the play-in
1-1.
and possibly sneak into the playoffs that way. But there was no way, there was no indication that, that this team was going to, make it all the way to third place in the Western Division, or the Western Conference, excuse me, and just make the playoffs straight up. So they definitely exceeded expectations there.
Wow, that was a
Aunt D'Angelo, how are you?
the count's now at 2-2, but boy, that one very easily could have been called strike 3. Really close pitch.
Looking to punch him out again.
So it all comes down to Houston and Milwaukee, and well, I would have to think that most people might have expected Houston to be here. The big surprise, obviously, is Milwaukee, being that this is their first World Series appearance since 1982.
Ready with the payoff pitch. A swing
And I mean, of course, this was back when, Kelly was,
retire the side.
this was back when, our good friend Kelly was a toddler, I think. Your team won? Wait, are you talking about the Red Sox IRL
Start of the fourth.
that they won for today?
Heidi Watney is standing by with a report.
Well, Matt, during the break, I caught up with Craig Counsell, the Brewers skipper, about his lineup's performance so far. And overall, he's really happy with the at-bats they're putting together. It's still
Let me
pretty early in the
take a
game,
look
but
and see
there's a
how
lot of pitches
you guys
in
are doing.
And he thinks the 2 runs they've pushed
I know it's a relatively young season, though, and
The quality of the at-bats they're putting together.
Good stuff, Heidi. Thanks. Now to the plate, Narvaez, as we begin the top of the fourth.
sorry, I'm just looking at something that my good friend shared with me. Another friend of mine.
Infield shifted well to the
First time in 4 games, it was 5-3. Honestly, we're flunking, and and pitchers are atrocious. Strikeout on Altuve, that's pretty awesome there.
behind 0-2 now.
Now it's 0-2 for McCullers.
Nothing in 2 count and the pitch. And a sinker dips
Well,
too low
bit too low,
into the
very low, and a bit outside. And he hits it, but he hits it really weak to first base, and they get the out. 1 down.
Next, it'll be Willie Adames looking to put the ball in play here.
Just going to check a couple of things here.
His first at-bat. The pitch. Two runs, 4 hits, and no errors on the Milwaukee line score so far. Hot shot.
Oh, nice hit there, but hit right to the shortstop, and they get another out. 2 down.
Up next, Patsy Chase. He
Okay.
his last time up.
So far, the Boston Red Sox are at the bottom of the AL East standings, or the American League East standings. But it's still very young in the season. But currently, the Tampa Bay Rays are undefeated. And whoa, what a shot! And Patty gets her first home run. And Patty is getting jiggy with it. Na 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 na. Na 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 na. Getting jiggy with it. Na 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 na. Na 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 na. Wow, Patty, you just got jiggy with it. Wow.
Well, people always wonder why some
Look at this.
players make
Boom.
so much money, and
Patty just hit it right out.
others find a way to rise to the occasion in the postseason, and he did
Well,
right there.
not completely out of the park, but a very long way. Well, there's Lorenzo Cain. That's got to be Cain. That's got to be Cain.
For the first strike. He hit a sac fly earlier.
Yes, your first homer. And, you know, I will say as far as that homer, that was very nice baby. Dun 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 dun. Dun 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 dun.
Behind that swing, and now he'll try to shorten up maybe and protect the plate. 1-2. Looked at for ball number 2. 2 out, nobody on.
I had to do it. I had to do it.
And
Anyway.
a full count to Kane, 3 balls and 2 strikes.
However, hit a home run.
When a
What?
pitcher's close to working through a quick inning, that's when you really need to grind out some
Well, anyway, what's the question?
good job of that.
Or are you asking that if you've ever hit a home run?
The bottom of the
Not that I remember, but for Patty, that definitely was her first. Anyway, hits it to shortstop, and they do get the out at first, but the damage was done as they add yet another run. And it was done by Patty Chase. And I'll tell you what, though, Patty, don't let her look fool you. I mean, she can hit a ball. Well, now, if of course, if you're Houston, you definitely want to, you know, slowly but surely get back in this. Maybe even have a big inning right here. Now it's bottom of the 4th.
Now the pitch.
Burns is now at 60 pitches, though, so that might be a bit concerning considering by this point, if you're like at 50 pitches, you're okay, but now that you're at 60, that might be a bit concerning.
Hit on the ground is
Although a hit, but right towards Kelly as she gets the out at first to Patty at first base. There you see Kelly to Patty. Kelly to Patty. I can't even talk. I'm so happy. But look at this. A distance of 117 feet. And the throw speed was at 89 miles per hour. So yeah, Kelly does have a cannon for an arm. Of course, it's not the. I mean, of course, the velocity is not the greatest. I mean, there's others that have had a greater, that have had a greater miles per hour, but that's very accurate. I can hit, run, steal bases, catch, throw, and score. Yeah, if Milwaukee does win, Patty definitely deserves a vote. I mean, sure, you could probably give an assist to Kane or a vote for Kane, but Patty has definitely been the more consistent player in this entire postseason.
Trying to send him packing for the second time.
This is exactly the reason why this guy has been so successful and has played this game so long. Scrambling pitch after pitch, making this guy work out.
Well, now Burns is at 16, 8 pitches now. And for the 69th, he gets a strikeout. Nice. His 6th strikeout of this game. So even if it's taking a couple of pitches, at least he's getting some strikeouts, and has, for the most part, kept it a scoreless game for Houston. Sure, Houston got a couple of good hits, but they haven't been able to convert into runs. Oh yeah, basically that movie is a bunch of 80-year-old women that are quote-unquote thirsty for Tom Brady. But I mean, really though, I don't really blame those ladies. So what can I say? I mean, if you could go out with a guy like Brady, you probably would go out of your way to get him. All right, so 3-1 is the count for Tucker.
Let your D work for you right here. Pound the zone.
The 3-1.
Ooh, nice hit, but it's at foul.
Bases are empty here with 2 men out.
Let's see, but yeah, the Tampa Bay Rays are undefeated. In fact, they're the last undefeated team, and other good teams include the Braves, the Brewers, and Minnesota, but right now, in terms of win percentage, the Tampa Bay Rays.
He made some good pitches, but he just couldn't get him to chase enough out of the zone.
Here's Carlos Correa now. Struck out in his first at-bat.
All right, so 2 outs with a man on base.
He's set. Here it comes.
Oh, that was close. That could have hit him, but it didn't.
Perfect time for a mound visit right here. Just give him a breather, a chance to collect himself and get back to work.
But no, truly, Patty, like, how do you really feel about getting your first home run?
Taken strike one.
And that it came in the World Series to boot.
Pitch right there. He can throw it anytime he wants.
Anyway,
for a strike.
1-1 is the count. Make it 1-2.
He's looking pretty passive here, hitting with a chance to drive in a run. You're going to have to make something happen with 2 strikes now.
Excuse me.
Rolled slowly down the third
Whoa,
base
wrong
line.
bat, Burns.
The foul ball as the count holds steady at 1-2. Looking to punch him out again. The pitch. Good hard sinker, but he lays off to even things at 2-2.
All right, now it's 2-2 is the count.
And he struck
And another strikeout. I believe that's the 7th strikeout for Burns. So at least Burns is producing as far as strikeouts are concerned. And then there's LD. What's up?
All ready to go in the top of the 5th. Coming forward, the veteran outfielder, Avisail Garcia. Here comes the pitch for Garcia. First pitch here is a sinker.
Anyway, a ball for him. And how's everything going?
And a strike to even the count. 1-1.
2-1 is the count.
You know what I'm seeing here,
I will say this, though. Milwaukee has done a great job, taking advantage.
ball right by him right now.
And even though it's a 3-run lead, and we have seen Milwaukee, score a bunch of runs, especially during their series against Atlanta, they are very well aware that Houston, if they turn it on, they may be difficult to stop. Anyway, I'm having an awesome game tonight. I'm very happy. My first run and a hit for Avisal Garcia, and he manages to hit an opposite field home or an opposite field hit, and that results in a double for Garcia.
And he plays the role pretty well.
LD's doing good, and
Double, and now he gives the real lead.
so yeah, that was an opposite field hit. Well, that sets up Colton Wong to possibly get a score in, but we'll see how he does as far as trying to get when it comes to either advancing the runner or getting a hit himself. And he hits it the other way. That's back-to-back opposite field hitting. And that results in another run for Milwaukee. That just goes to show that Milwaukee, even though they're not hitting a bunch of home runs, they're making some timely hits. And for McCullers, he's doing everything he can to keep the team afloat, but right now it's falling apart. And unfortunately for Dusty Baker, he's going to have to make another call to the bullpen. Or, yeah, he's going to have to take the ball. And for McCullers, I can only imagine he's very disappointed. Very disappointed with his performance, but now we have Zach Greinke. And this is his 4th appearance, as he's already had 3 appearances. And he actually has a win and a loss to his record. And just as that happens, our good friend, Crushing Kelly Baker. And a stolen base. Oh, they got him out. I thought for a moment he got the stolen base, but let's see. We had a little bit of slow motion there. That was so close. Oh, wait a minute. I honestly think he should have been safe, but he was called out. Well, that pretty much kills the momentum momentarily. Yeah, what's up, odds? By the way, Mr. Louisville Slugger, how you doing, man? I mean, you are based off of Jim Cornette, so that's why I called you the Louisville Slugger. But I've also been recently... Oh, well, he hits it, but... Or, sorry, Kelly hits it, but doesn't hit it very far, so she's out. 2 down. And for McCullers, yeah, he's definitely disappointed with his performance, but, sometimes you're going to get those performances, and, you have to just put that in the back of your mind. As far as I understand it, they might have challenges, but I don't know if they've implemented that rule, and if they have, they certainly didn't have that. Given that this is based off of the 2021 season. But still, they probably should have challenges. In that if you challenge and you're wrong, yeah, you probably shouldn't have it, but still. But I really thought he should have been safe there. I'm doing pretty well. In fact, I'm doing much better now that I'm home. Not to say that I don't like work. I mean, after all, it is the very thing that puts food on the table. But even still, I do want to say I'm doing well, and I am doing well. I am looking forward for tomorrow, especially on the last show of 2K22. Oh, nice hit there, but he hits it right towards the first baseman, and that's an out already. But the Brewers continue to add, and in fact, it seems as if they're averaging a run per inning, except for one inning.
Welcome back for the bottom of the fifth. Here's Heidi Watney.
Thanks, Matt. During the commercial break, I discussed the Astros offense with Houston's manager, and he told me he feels like they're being too patient at the plate right now. Too much of the time they're finding themselves.
And as far as the Astros are concerned, they just have to slowly but surely get back in. But of course, time is wasting. So if they want to get back in, they got to start putting some runs on the board. If they're going to have any chance, put some guys on base as well. But anyway, here you see your boy Toad, and I got my Louisville Slugger, baby. The American Dream, just Dusty Rhodes.
Some action out in the bullpen. Couple of right-handers starting to loosen up.
High times is a man works at a factory for 30 years, they give him a watch and they kick his butt, or something like that. Anyway, I do hit it, but I popped it up to Crushing Kelly, the ball that is, and Kelly gets it, and that's one down. And then Patty and Odds are saying hello to each other. That's awesome. Ooh. Fouls it a little bit here.
With that one, it's way above the strike zone. One out, nobody on. Oh, this is it.
And whoa, nice shot though, and it's gone. Just as I say that, the Astros get a home run and they get a run on the board thanks to Gurriel. And every time they hit a home run, that choo-choo train starts moving. I mean, of course, for those who don't know, the train is a reference to the fact that before, before Minute Maid Park was ever made, that facade, the left field, where that train was on. That used to be the entryway to what used to be a train station. So yeah, for the most part, the area that occupies Minute Maid Park used to be a railway and a train station. So now the Astros have one up on the board, so it's now 4-1. Corbin Burns still in the game, but now he's up to 88 pitches. So by this point, he's got to be tired. Especially if you're going to give up a run like that. It's understandable. Swing and a miss, and he gets another strikeout, does Corbin Burns. 8 strikeouts for Corbin Burns. And for Brandon, he swung too early on that one, and Burns just absolutely burned him, pun intended. But we'll see if he can do the same against Cole Weston. Now, this is a man who's big and strong enough to get a home run, especially if he gets a hold of it. 0-1. And he popped it up. And a catch, and that's the end of the inning. But Yuli Gurriel, I can't even talk. Yuli Gurriel gets a good one, and he just barely cleared the bench or that scoreboard and into the seats. All right, so now we're back to Jamar Games to start off the top of the 6th. I will say that this has been an awesome game. Well, mainly for Milwaukee, but however, unlike the series with Atlanta, the lead they have is not insurmountable. It can be done. But I would have to think that if you're, the Brewers, I mean, you definitely want to add to your lead, especially as the game gets closer and closer to the end. I mean, of course, baseball is one of the few games that doesn't have a clock. Although recently they did add a pitch clock, but it's not like you could just run out the clock. Especially if you're the team that's ahead. Excuse me. And an opposite field hit, and he hits it to where no one is. And is he going to make it to second? And he got too greedy, especially with my cannon arm. I threw him out. Yep. That's what happens when you test my arm, or when you test me with my arm. I'm going to gun you down just like Double-Toed 7 always does. He always gets his man. Anyway, 2 down. But yeah, well, that was a good hit. It was just the fact that he went for second, and I was able to get him out. So, there you go. Yeah, 1 for 3, but you do have an RBI, so it's not like you hadn't done anything. I mean, you could still make some plays on defense, too. Or actually, no, I forgot you're the designated hitter. Never mind. But even still, you could still do damage, though. And they get the out at first from the shortstop. But now we get to the top of the order for the Astros. When we get back, it is now 4-1 after 5.5 innings.
Here's the second baseman, Jose Altuve. He'll start things out in the 6th for a lineup that really hasn't found its groove in this one.
Yeah, let's see if he can work a walk, maybe a knock, ground ball with eyes, something. Catch a gap to get this offense going. 2 hits as a team can start demoralizing your confidence. But if he can get on and start some traffic in motion, we might have something.
From the stretch, as he'll watch a slider that runs out of the strike zone away for ball 1.
Hey, every ball club has that spark plug guy, and this is the guy right here. He usually ignites a lot of productive innings.
The 1-0 is taken for ball 2.
Okay.
A couple strikeouts early in the game, but he's done a much better job in this at-bat trying to get ahead and put himself in a good hitter's count.
2-0 count, the pitch in the dirt. It's 3-0 now.
So that's ball
All right,
3
I'm back.
for the
I was just checking my messages.
anything to get this leadoff hitter on.
Right now, Corbin Burns is now at 95 pitches, so that tells you that he's close to calling it and having someone from the bullpen come in. But I will say this, though. For the most part, Burns has done his job. Speaking of which, though, Patty, what do you think? Has Burns done his job? Like, has he done a good job? I'll let you think about that one. But right now, it's 3-1 is the count, and well, that's going to result in a walk. That's one thing you don't want to do if you're Burns or any other pitcher is walk Altuve, because Brantley and some of the other guys can do some damage that way. And there you see the mascot orbit. He's done really well until the last inning. Yeah, that is true. That is true. But of course, now that he's getting tired, I have to imagine he's not able to get some strikes or get into the strike zone. But he also knows that Brantley could just pop him if he's not careful. So it's going to be up to the manager to make that decision on bringing in a relief pitcher here, because he's at 100 pitches now. Well, that time he got a strike. And he hits it, but hits it foul. 3-2. Goodness gracious. And another hit, but fouled away. And he fouls it into the crowd. Fouls it away again. Right now, Brantley is trying to increase the pitch count, but at this point, well, he gives up another walk. That's 2 walks in a row. So that might be time to pull the trigger if you're the manager, excuse me. And it looks like he's going to do that right now. But give Corbin Burns a lot of credit. He did pretty well, giving up only 1 run for the amount of innings that he's worked. And up next is Adrian Hauser. And this is his 3rd appearance, having had 2 prior appearances, and has actually has not allowed an earned run. So he has done well in relief. But we'll see how he does here.
Nothing in 1 count. Here it comes. Down and away, ball 1. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Right now there are no outs and runners at first and second. Oh, almost hit him there.
Lots of guys get too aggressive in a spot like this, but he's done a nice job.
Well, now Hauser's going to have to reestablish position here, because he's going to have to dial it in. Well, he ties the count, so it's 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes for those who don't know. Or just coming in. And a swing and a miss, and wow, he really fooled him. Great job there by Hauser. Let's take a look here. Yeah, he swung a bit too late and a bit too high, and Hauser went low. But then you have Kyle Tucker, no relation to Kyle Young. No, not really. And also definitely no relation to Chris Tucker either. Bad joke, I know.
Over at second, Brantley at first, 1 gone. And he won't bite at that one either.
right here as a hitter to be really aggressive. With two guys already on, pretty good shot. He's going to get a challenge pitch right here.
All right, so 2-0 is the count. Still 2 runners on base, and a good hit, but he hit it right to Kane, and Kane with a huge arm, and that huge arm kept the runner at second, as opposed to allowing him to advance. So that's a great play there by Kane. That's got to be Kane. That's got to be Kane. No, not really. I was just fooling around odds. And also, hey, what's up, AJ? How's it going, cool kid? Anyway, how are you doing, AJ?
Trying to hang a zero. Here's the pitch.
Oh, that's designated hitter. Designated hitter.
Two down, runners at first and second.
In other words, they take the place of the pitcher, especially in the older, especially from the older rules. And he hits it high, but not very deep, and another out by Kane. So the old rules used to be that every position, including the pitcher, was in the lineup to hit. But the designated hitter rule, when it was first announced, or if first in play, starting in the 1973 season, at least on the American League side, they made it so that a designated hitter would hit in place of the pitcher, instead of the pitcher also hitting as well. Of course, ever since 2021, as far as I understand it, or I'm sorry, ever since the 2022 season started, my bad, but ever since that season, the designated hitter rule is now both in the American and National League, so it's universal, so to speak. Also, hey, what's up, Paul? AKA Frostbite. By the way, I do have your character of Frostbite, but I'm not sure if you're going to be sticking around or anything like that. But if you are, let me know. 29-0 with the Twins. Anyway, a swing and a miss, and out goes Patty, as Zach Greinke has dialed in himself. And he gets a strikeout, and it came at the expense of Patty. Go for it. Oh.
Here's the first pitch now from Greinke.
So yeah, I have the character of Frostbite, and I mean, not so good today. It hasn't been a good day for me, sadly. I wonder, is it personal or something? Like, oh, nice hit there by Kane. That's got to be Kane. That's got to be Kane, and that might result in a double for Kane. I mean, of course, he does have championship, World Series experience, in the sense that he was part of those mid-noughties Royals teams that made the World Series in 2014, and then again in 2015 when they won the latter. I'm sad the Rays lost here for a while. My first oopsie for tonight. Well, you're not going to get them all, but I hope it. But as far as AJ's concerned, I hope it's nothing too serious. But I mean, if it had anything to do with work, then it pretty much explains itself, really. Avisal Garcia up next with a runner at second and an out, and one out. Milwaukee has another opportunity to knock in another run. And a hit, but out of bounds.
one fair either. And now the count is full.
And what a shot! Is it going to stay fair?
And that's a fair ball.
It does stay fair. So while it's not a home run, it is a double for Garcia. Wow, what a hit by Garcia.
There's a reason they say baseball is a game of inches, right? Just barely fair, but that's not much consolation for the guy standing on the mound.
They say it's got to be Cad Bane. Sorry, bad joke. It's war? What? Oh, work. They're trying to get me more. They're trying to get me work more when I haven't had a day off at all. Oh, that's terrible. I mean, of course, the terms of my job is I go in 5 days a week, and I have the weekends off, which, sure, it stinks, but, but then again, that's kind of what I signed on for. But I'm just sorry that they're making you do more than you probably should. But I hope you're going to be available for tomorrow, especially for the last show for WWE 2K22. But no worries there, Paul. Frostbite, whatever you want to do. I've been working for 10 days on. I hopefully will.
In now, Kelly Baker. As he'll take a look at ball one. He's working on a 1 for 3 thus far.
My only hope is that they compensate you with, overtime pay, or they get you a paid day off or something. And another good hit there by Kelly, and Kelly gets an RBI, and the right fielder misplays that ball, and that results in a triple. And just like that, the Milwaukee Braves have opened up a can of whoop ass on the Astros. Look at this. And the thing is, they're not hitting home runs. They're getting good solid base hits. And look at the speed of Kelly. And just like that, Christian Javier comes in. This is his fourth appearance. And at this point for the Astros, they got to try to stop the bleeding, and they got to get back in this if they're going to have any chance of making a run at this one. Otherwise, they give up game one, and they are then one game away from elimination, and, well, not just elimination, from losing the World Series to the Milwaukee Brewers. Yeah, Kelly got a hit and an RBI triple. Oh yeah, AJ, I may as well mention that believe it or not, AJ, Diamond Sky on 2K23, even though I made her or made your character, a good friend of mine. Well, Frostbite. The season was created before before I even knew who Frostbite was. So, but no worries there, Paul. I'll put you on the roster or on the I'll put you on the roster or on the the roster for season 4. So yeah, definitely we'll do that for you, my friend.
And now here is number 36. 0 for 2 on his line thus far.
But yeah, AJ, a good friend of mine, Lala-chan,
Here comes the first pitch.
she downloaded Diamond Sky and put her on her show, and you were featured in a match. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna find that video, and I'll timestamp it to your match. That way you don't have to look for it. So I'm gonna get it for you. So hold on a second. And in the meantime, there you see me at bat. So BRB, at least on commentary. So I'm still here.
Yuli Gurriel is on deck. The 3-1 pitch.
Also, let me make sure I don't.
Fouled off to the left.
There you go.
Here's a chopper right side.
And a very weak hit by yours truly, and I get an out. One down.
Unassisted. The Cuban import Yuli Gurriel. Wheels and deals. Here's the first pitch.
There it is.
Earlier, so that might have been a little bit of a
All right, let me get that for you.
send to hit him off the plate. At the very least,
All right, so here's the video.
from getting his arms extended.
And the name of the company is WNAW, which is short for Wind Ninja Academy Wrestling.
Now the Astros designated hitter, Brandon Cuevas, who went down on strike.
Which in itself is also based off of,
First offering on its way.
which is also based off of a Power Ranger season, Ninja Storm.
Slider just missed the corner. As they say, that's a Hall of Fame pitch.
Given the fact that my good friend Lala-chan is. Oh, and a misplay,
And on through towards the wall.
and nope, they get that's safe. So a rare misplay by Milwaukee, and that gives Brandon Cuevas second base.
Maybe they can string together a few and get back
So-
into this thing.
So for the Astros, if they're gonna have any chance, they're gonna have to take advantage of any breaks they do get. And for Cole Weston, he's 0 for 2. But if he can get a big hit, he might be able to get the Astros back in this. Especially given that, they have this in the next 2 innings to get back in. Otherwise, it's over.
From the stretch. To first.
And he does hit it, but he hits it right to first base, and they get the force at first. So great job there by Hauser, but also a great play there by Patty to limit the damage, if any. And the score after 7 is 6-1.
Striding forward now.
All right, so 1 for 3 is Jamar.
He'll start us off in the 8th. Number 86. First offering.
Although I will say this, though. When we get back to... Whoa, what a shot there by Jamar.
Brantley is under.
He hits it high, but not very far. 1 down. But I will say this, though. By the time we get to Game 2, win or lose, although it looks like more likely they're going to win, Jamar should be refreshed, given he's only hitting and not fielding. So that'll definitely help him out,
To go ahead and go to second base, but obviously it didn't work out.
especially when the scene goes back to Game 2 with the absolute possibility that they could win Game 2 and win it all.
One out, nobody on.
But obviously they got to take care of business right now. Top of the 8th.
2-0. Now the Astros have somebody up in the bullpen. As
Pedro
Alexander has-
Pedro Baez and Phil Matten in the bullpen.
2-0 count and the pitch.
Ooh, good hit, but he hit it right to the shortstop. Or actually, no, that's the third baseman. Never mind.
So 2 gone now in the Brewers' half of the 8th, and up next will be Willie Adames. Here's the first pitch to him. And he'll take strike 1 on the fastball, registering at 93 that time.
All right, so 0-1 is the count, and we'll now make it 0-2 with 2 outs.
0-2.
Hey, this is an amazing inning right here. Attacking the zone, keeping his defense invested. Chance to get off the field super quick.
Bases are empty here with 2 men out. Bounce
And, well, a weakly hit, but they managed to get the out at first. So for Houston, that was their best offensive inning thus far. Though they definitely could have used a lot more of those, as I mean, really, it's 6-1, and not to mention the hitting or the hits are 11 hits to 3 hits that the Astros have, and now up next is Brad Boxberger, who has been in 5 games already, making his 6th appearance, but having already played in 5 games. And he has a win-loss record of 2-0. So that just goes to show that Boxberger, even though he's not the starter, can still get the win whenever his team needed it. No, not Hamburger, Boxberger.
First pitch on its way. Fastball just misses. That's ball 1.
1-0.
I mean,
Now a ball and a strike.
I mean, if you want a hamburger in a box, you can just go to Jack in the Box. Cheap plug, by the way, for those who like Jack in the Box. I do. I know that not everybody does. In fact, if you guys, what are your favorite fast food places there? And he hit it right towards where Patty was, but Patty whiffed on it. And while Patty got her first home run, for Patty, that was her first error. Or was it? Let's see. So he hits it. And, well, okay, the camera didn't pan to where, if it was possible if Patty missed it or not. But McDonald's, I will say that McDonald's does a great job with their breakfast foods. Well, that's for me, at least. I mean, that's what I'm a fan of. I know that some people like their Big Macs and things like that. And then I think the only other thing I do enjoy is the flurries, or the McFlurries, really. Those are just some of my favorite items at McDonald's. Taco Bell, I definitely enjoy Taco Bell. Definitely. All right, this time Patty gets it. They get 1, and they get 2. In fact, Patty fielded the ball. And here you see, Boxberger going to cover first base as Patty made the throw to second, to where Kelly had covered the base, and then Kelly threw it back to first base, and at first base was Boxberger to cover. So that was a great play by the shortstop, the first baseman, and the pitcher to get that double play. Anyway, thanks. I'll tune into her show too along with you. Thank you so much for everything you've done, TJ. Well, hey, I mean, really though, I was shocked when I found out that, well, her real name is Lashana. But yeah, Lashana, she, when she told me that she had gotten Diamond Sky, I was honored the fact that she got her, because, because she didn't have to do that. Like, initially she was just going to get my character, but then she saw Diamond Sky and probably thought, you know what, that's a new star I can make, or I can bring in. And I said, really? And I said, and she says, yeah, Diamond Sky, she has the look of a star. And with enough experience, she might become a superstar.
Still 1-2 as he fouls it away.
So in other words, Lashana loved, Diamond Sky's look.
2-2 now with 2 away and the base is empty.
Great job to lay off that pitch after fouling off so many.
And then of course, I don't know if you saw your character's match or Diamond Sky's match, but after that match, she was convinced that she had just found another star for, Win Ninja Academy Wrestling. So I was like, hey, I'm happy that, that you really think that highly of Diamond Sky. But back to this game, though, as that happens, it's the bottom of the 8th. You know, Houston is now 4 outs away from losing game 1. Now, they do get a walk on base, so at this point, they just have to slowly but surely get back in. But as that happens, Hunter Strickland comes in, and he's in his 3rd appearance. He's already had 2 games, and he does own a 1-0 win-loss record.
Kyle Tucker will be the first to greet him here as he stands in with a runner at first and 2 away.
Hey! I just got to say, The Rock says, da 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 da. The Rock says, know your damn role. Anyway, how's it going, man? Great to see the Rock bring out the Hawk. But nonetheless, though, how's it going, man? The Rock says, I can't wait to get back into streaming. Yes. And probably laying the smackdown on so many people's candy asses, especially when I say that, well, actually, Rock, would you like me to tell him, or do you want to tell him, or do you want me to keep it a secret? But nonetheless, though, it's great to see the Rock. And a swing and a miss, and that's a strikeout for Strickland. So far, the pitching staff for Milwaukee finally woke up, because it definitely went dormant as far as giving up runs in the National League Championship Series against the Braves. And yet somehow they managed to come out of it into the World Series. And thus far, it's a marked improvement from that series as far as pitching is concerned. I leave that to you mostly because I don't know what you're talking about. Oh, okay. So I was talking about the fact that that yes, exactly. Oz kind of hinted towards it that Rock Hawk is going to face the Lock. Nah. But the Rock is coming back into the ring, and what a shot! And it's off the wall. It's not a home run, but it's off the wall. And that results in a double. So Patty has yet another big hit, a little bit higher and probably a little bit more to the left, and that would have been a home run, but even still, that was a good hit. That. I can't wait for that. In fact, the last time that you had a match, if I remember correctly, was it was against me, actually. In which I ended up going 1-on-1 with the Great One, known as Rockhawk 64, in which you ended up kicking my candy ass. So I'm very happy about that, though. Yes, Diamond Sky is in a Royal Rumble. Yeah, I thought you had another homer too, but again, that part of the field is very deep. It's not the deepest part of the field, at least not if we're comparing it to what it used to look like, but well, that's a hit, but it was hit right towards the shortstop, 1 down. And that was Kane who hit it. But to go back to AJ or to Diamond Sky, so the stipulation is this. If the person that eliminates Diamond Sky from that Rumble, Diamond Sky would have to defend the United Kingdom Championship, the United Kingdom Championship on that same card. Now, obviously, if Diamond Sky wins the Rumble, whoo boy, Diamond Sky is moving on up like the Jeffersons. Anyway, the Ferrol nuclear reactor is ready to flip, flap, and slap. That's what the book says. I believe it. I totally believe it. Just like Naruto. Believe it. Anyway, Garcia, with that last pitch, does not take at that one, so it's 3-2 is the count. I'll tell you one thing. I will credit Milwaukee is that despite having the lead, they're not letting up. And why should they? I mean, they came back in a series that they were mostly down in. So if nothing else, they've developed that killer instinct, especially as I mentioned before against the in the previous series against the Braves. And they're going to need to have that killer instinct if they want to beat the Astros. And so far, they've done exactly that. Anyway. She signs the contract for him and hands him. Oh, yes. Yes, it's pay-per-view. But I call it super shows because you're not really paying for it. And I'm also not gonna call it a premium live event because it's not live. It's a super show. Or actually, no, it is live. What am I saying? But I just call it super shows because that's what they are. It's more than just a show. It's a super show. So that's what I call it. But even still, it is a lot like pay-per-view. Yes. Yeah, I do remember the title log for Rockhawk, although it's been a long time since I've read it because I hadn't played it in a billion years. But like I said, if they ever release for the Nintendo Switch Online, the GameCube games, and one of them is Thousand Year Door, you better believe that I'll be the first son of a bitch to buy it. So, no, I do believe what you say as far as the title log is concerned. Well, right now this is the bottom of the ninth, and for Houston, so here's the scenario. If Houston can get 5 runs, and this is also a good start for them as they get a hit, but if they can score 5 runs, then it's a tie game and we go into extra innings. If they score 6 runs or more, then they win and walk it off. Then they win via the walk-off. But anything less than 5, the game's also over, and Milwaukee will win Game 1 and be 1 game away from winning the whole thing. So that's what Houston's going to have to do, is score 5 runs at least if they're going to keep the game going. And no, this is MLB The Show 2021. I usually update every 3 years since, you know, in the time that it would take for me to update everything, it's better to just get it every 3 games. And then for Madden, I get it every 2 games. So that's kind of what it is, though. And then Odds also says that other terms for a pay-per-view for us is click per view or mega event, or at least those have been popular ones to use, definitely. That's a good question, though. I mean, my good friend Brandon Cuevas in the chat, although he was, I don't know if he's still in the chat now, but he says he has the game. Although I don't think I've, although I'm not sure if he, if the pitch clock among some of the new rules has been implemented for that particular season, though. So that's a good question, though. But in short, in my case, I don't know because I don't have it. Although I could look it up, though.
He went with the off-speed there once he got up to 0-2, but now that they've both missed, I think we'll see more of a challenge pitch here. You don't have to give in, but you can't be too cute either.
Swing and a miss, and now Houston is down to one more out as Strickland gets his second strikeout, though.
I think, Matt, what makes it such a tough pitch is you're changing eye levels.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised either. I really would not be surprised.
As a hitter, do you think you can
I really wouldn't.
It's really hard to get on top of that.
Because I have to think that when they were developing the game, they were probably under the impression that the rules were going to stick. But, hey, what do I know, though? Oh, wait, Brandon. So the question is, will any of the games have the new rules that they're implementing this season? And if so, is it in 23? He hits it right to the third baseman, and that's it. That's the end of the game. As Milwaukee wins 6-1, and for Milwaukee, that is from start to finish their best game in the postseason, as they got ahead and stayed ahead. And despite giving up only one run, they win 6-1. And for Milwaukee, they are now one game away from winning their first ever World Series. The winning pitcher is Corbin Burns, and the loser, unfortunately for Houston, is Lance McCullers. We'll take a look at some of the other stats as we get into it. But the final score is 6-1 Milwaukee. There you see Patty, number 22, on the field. Did you see the clip about the Rays ball boy on Twitter? No, I have not seen it. Good hit there by Jamar, though, early in the game. And hello to Highlight Reel. How you doing, man? Wait, let me take a look at your channel really quickly. Highlight Reel. Yo! Dude. Dude, it's nice to meet a big star. How you doing, man? I mean, actually, this isn't a big star. This is a superstar here. A superstar YouTuber in Highlight Reel. But I want to say, welcome to the channel, and welcome to, well, what is the end of Game 1. But it's nice to meet the man behind, or the person behind Highlight Reel. I can't assume if you're a dude or a lady, but other than that, it's nice to meet you, Highlight Reel. My friend Matty Ice is the bat boy for them. It was really, I had no idea that your best friend is the bat boy for the Tampa Bay Rays, IRL. I did not know that. And what do I? And you know, I have to think that. Wait, I'm not sure how much they pay him, but I mean, if he loves his job for what he gets, I'm happy for him, man. Not a best friend. Well, I mean, you said he was your friend. I guess maybe. Okay, so he's a friend, not a best friend. Okay, so your good friend Matty Ice is the bat boy for them. And you know what? Speaking of Matty, or speaking of Ice, Ice baby, dun 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 dun. Yeah, I had to do it. I had to do it though. Just hey, oh hey, thank you so much, Mr. Highlight, or thank you very much, Highlight Reel. I appreciate it. And you know, I might actually have to check out your channel now, because it looks like it has a lot of good stuff. In fact, you do a lot of let's see. So you have Highlight Reel. So this is your #1 source for sports highlights. I definitely enjoy sports highlights, especially like from. In fact, I'm going to return the favor and subscribe to you. So I'm going to check that out, and because I also watch other highlight channels like Highlight Heaven, among others. Anyway, it's funny because I know him as a competitive rivals of either player. Never expected him to be working for a sports team. Hey, that's awesome. Well, anyway, let's get into the box score for a little bit. We're going to start with the Houston Astros, and unfortunately, the only person that got an RBI / home run was Gurriel. But unfortunately, between all the players, 5 hits, and Brandon Cuevas was the only one who got more than 1 hit. So that definitely says a lot about the pitching for them. You know, speaking of the pitching, I may as well go into okay, so we can't say it, but it definitely does say a lot about the pitching because, you know, that no, not that one. Oh, sorry, here's the pitching right here. Anyway, sadly, I got to head out for the night. I figured I'd drop in and check in. I'll see you later. Well, not a problem, Rock. In fact, we're almost done with the show, so you really wouldn't be missing much else after that. But thank you so much for coming on in. I appreciate it very, very much. So, as for pitching, as you can see, McCullers gave up 7 hits, but he also gave up the most runs. And unfortunately, he didn't really do a good job this time around. But as for the Brewers, let's start with their pitching first. So as far as pitching is concerned, the only one run was given up, and that was by Burns, as he was able to. Oh yeah, let me check out one more thing. Okay, no, okay. But yeah, Burns got the win. But everybody else was scoreless, so they did a great job, though. And then, of course, as far as, stolen bases, Patty Chase showing us what kind of chase that she puts on, especially when it comes to stealing bases. I will say this, though, Patty, you're doing a great job, not just, with hitting, but you continue your base. You continue with the excellence that you're doing with your base running, because that's your 3rd stolen base in the postseason and your 1st in the World Series. But then here's some of the totals. The person that got the most hits was, of course, Patty. And if anything, I think Patty got the MVP for this one. 3 hits. And then 6 different players each had an RBI. So it wasn't just one person carrying the load. They did a great job with that. But in terms of... Oh, yeah, GIDP, that's short for grounded into a double play. That was Jamar. That's a negative stat. Sacrifice fly, that's a positive stat. A positive stat. I can't even talk. But Kane got a sacrifice fly. And then, as mentioned before, 6 different people each got an RBI. And that includes Kelly, Jamar, and Patty. So just the fact that the 3 big stars each got an RBI says a lot about that. And Patty, of course, had that home run. And then as it turns out, that Crushing Kelly actually got a triple. So that's something else. And then as far as doubles, Yelich got 1. Garcia got 2. And then Kane got 1. And then, of course, Patty got 2 doubles. So the fact that her 3 hits resulted in 2 doubles and a home run, that says a lot about Patty. and her brilliance at the bat. Yes. I mean, you say that, Jose, as if hell just froze over, although I kind of wish it did. But but the but nonetheless, though, Milwaukee now has one game away, one win away from winning the whole thing. So we're going to close out here, though. It's the damn Astros. Yes. It is the damn Astros. I mean, after all, they're not the damn Yankees. But even still, I will say that it was a lot of fun with this one. This was a lot of fun. But as I mentioned before, the I won't be doing a stream on Sunday, as Sunday, of course, is Mother's Day, and or actually no, it's not Mother's Day. It's my mother's birthday. My bad. But yeah, my mother's birthday is on this Sunday, so of course I'm gonna take her out to dinner. Actually, it's gonna be me and my dad taking my mom out to dinner, and so I'm gonna be spending time with Mama Tuju. Nah, not really. But as far as Saturday, the final show for WWE 2022 or 2K22 is Capital Investment, i.e. our version of Money in the Bank. And of course the main event, or the co-main events, actually you have 4 main events. You have the Blue Toad Wrestling Championships, men and women. And then you have the Money in the Banks. So that one is going to be awesome. I hope you guys are going to be there. But until then, this is the Blue Toad to Jew 22 signing off, saying goodbye. And I'm going to head off for the night, get something to eat. And until then, do stay safe. Yes, Mama Toad. Yes. But nonetheless, though, do stay safe. Do enjoy the time that you have with your family. And until then, peace, good vibes, and God bless. Have a good one, everybody.